Hello, and thank you for joining me on the DisclosureFest Foundation's weekly global live stream. This is our special event for today, 4/4. I'm your host, Michelle Anderson of Awakening Code Radio, and I'm excited to begin today's the Every Elder Initiative is our newest initiative. And this brings much needed movement and music and healing modalities to our elders living in convalescent homes. The Beach and River Cleanup Initiative has cleaned up over 20,000 pounds of trash. And the Starseed Initiative brings incredible plant-based meals and inspiring conscious activities like yoga, meditation, Jedi basketball to children's schools and children's programs. And you probably are sure. It sounds like we had a little bit of technical difficulty in the beginning. We didn't have sound. Can everyone hear me now? Thumbs up? Okay. Well, thank you for joining me here. I'm Michelle Anderson, and I'm your host of today's DisclosureFest Foundation's weekly global live stream. This is our special event for 4/4, and I'm really excited to welcome Tina Calderon, our Tongva elder from the lands where Disclosure Fest mass meditation happens every year on the summer solstice at Los Angeles State Historic Parks. And we also have Mikilani Young, our Hawaiian Kumu, who is with us today. They're going to be starting us off. And like they've taught me, they always start with prayer, and their songs are prayers. And they'll be telling and sharing a little bit about their cultures. They are a part of our Disclosure Fest Foundation Mass Meditation Initiative. And we also have other initiatives. I don't know if you heard me earlier when I was talking about our other initiatives. The Feed Our Souls initiative, which is fed 1,000 houseless people in the Los Angeles area. The Clean Air Initiative, which has planted 21,000 trees to date. The Every Elder Initiative, which includes all of our elders that are housed in convalescent homes and gives them just an ear and support, movement, and lots of crafting projects, a lot of sound healing too. And the Beach and River Cleanup Initiative, which has cleaned up over 20,000 pounds of trash. I think you might have heard me talk about the Starseed Initiative as well. And so we are getting ready to go straight over to Tina Calderon and Mikilani Young. I invite you to come in and pray with us and meditate with us today. This is a very pivotal time on earth, and we know that our love is what is going to help see us through these unprecedented times. It's our love and our community and being in our hearts and sharing together in a calm and compassionate state. So Mikilani and Tina, are you with us? Thank you so much. Thank you for joining with us and sharing your beautiful prayers and songs. I'm going to let you take it over now. And I just look forward to joining in with everybody who's here. Thank you to everybody who's joined with us to set our hearts in the same unified feel.
Mi'iha nehinkum tokurat. Hello, my beautiful relatives. Netuanyane. My name is Tina Calderon. Komikrabet neha tongve koi mitskanatkan. I am Gabrielino Tongva and Ventureño Chumash from the ancestral village of Comikrangna, which is located in the Santa Monica Mountains in the shared territory of the Tongva and the Chumash. I'm happy you are all here with us this good day. I was asked to start this special prayer session off in a good way and with prayer. And I realize that we all come from different backgrounds and cultures, and we all have different ways of praying. So I invite you to pray and give your good thoughts in your own way as you were taught, just so that we can bring our collective energies together. And let's begin with expressing our gratitude and our love for our Creator above. Let His white light shine and guide into our hearts so that we can give love out to the universe and positive energies and positive prayers. I express my gratitude to Creator at this time, and I just receive His loving energy. We like to honor the ancestors as well, those that came before us, that paved the way. And I'm also going to offer prayers to the four directions. We start in the north. We call it Tome, and it's where the sacred waters come from, and therefore where life begins. It's designated to the babies and those that have yet to enter our realm. And it's represented by the bear and the eagle, both who teach us how to care for our young. And we turn to the east, we call Komi, where the sun rises and new growth is encouraged. This area is designated to the youth, the future leaders of our countries, the future leaders of tomorrow. It's represented by the deer and the hawk, and both of those relatives teach us about reciprocity. And to the south, we call Kataime, where the ancient knowledge is housed. This is designated to the middle age, those who are in power right now and who have caused a lot of damage. We pray that they open their minds and their hearts to change. This area is represented by the owl and the snake. And the snake who always has her belly upon our earth mother, feeling her very pulse. We look to them. They teach us. Those relatives teach us about responsibility. And to the west, we call Paime. We believe that that's where our spirits go when we cross over into spirit world. This area is designated to our elders, those whose wisdom we cherish and we respect. This area is represented by the dolphin and the raven, both who teach us about commitment. And then we go through the west gates into the heavens we call Tokupar. We return to our Creator and to the ancestors that reside above, those who lead us, those who guide us when we listen with open hearts and minds. We ask them to show us the next steps, to help to heal all of creation, to repair the damage that's been done, to unlearn those ways that somehow got twisted, and to relearn the original teachings that were given to us. And as we center ourselves back here to our own center of the universe, where each of us are physically located, We give our gratitude to our Earth Mother, who continues to sustain us. Wish menokre yoyo kohor. And if I may, I would like to offer a prayer song, and then I'll switch over to my sister, Mikilani. Akwara kupyavet, wish menokre. Te hosuna te kupangaro, wish menokre. Te hoskoneha, aweshkoneha, arura mahe, waane hino te hoven mo, waane hino te hoven mo, waara kupyavet, wish menokre. Te hosuna te kupangaro, wish menokre. Te hoskoneha, aweshkoneha, arura mahe, waane hino te hove mo, waane hino te hove mo. Wish menokre. Thank you.
Mahalo, Sister Tina. Mahalo, Tongva ancestors and the people of the lands. Mahalo for allowing me, Mikilani Young, from the West, from Hawaii, from our sacred mountain, Mauna Awakea. So I wanted to set the scene when we come to, in order for us as a person from Hawaii and raised in our traditions, in order for healing and unity to happen, we remember that when we leave our lands and we go to another land, we always come in a good way. And so, because we are small islands coming from the West, we would voyage. We were voyagers, we were navigators, we were seafarers. And when we did do our voyages, we came with gifts, ho'okupus, whether they were medicines, food, our traditions, our songs. So I'm gonna do a prayer, a chant that actually I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna because for us songs are our gifts. They are medicine. And so anytime I walk into a space of the First Nations people, because I am a guest on these lands called Turtle Island, imagine we're paddling out on our hokulea, traveling, and we arrive on the beach shores of Tangba lands. And there we would be greeted by the people of the lands. Now, the people of the lands don't know us. And as we are coming from our canoes, our va'as, we already start our chant. And yes, it is a different language. But the one thing about us, we knew the tones of one another's voices. We were so connected as a people to understand just in a tone, we knew how a person was approaching their lands. And so I'm going to offer this first one as a way of saying, we're coming in a good way. We're coming to your lands, and we ask if it's okay for us to come and approach. Awe wahiti hokupa e. Awe wahiti hele ekava aike kai hokele va ala ino a ohe a puluva anui Awe wahiti ela hoi mai kava ikeka ika hoe ikeka e pai atu ika aina la e pai mai la ika aina e aue uahiti e. So at this point, we would get off of our va'as, our canoes. We will have all of our gifts, our ho'okupus, And so that was the first gift, was our chant, was our prayer, asking the same way you would approach someone's home. You knock on the door. So we would bring our salts, our tea leaves, our medicines, our food. And when my sister Tina at the moment, our gifts in a good way. Once we did that, we would exchange a forehead and our nose to say, we want to take in your breath, that we come in a good way. This is how we could sense the essence of the person that we're taking in. And once that was completed, we would do another chant. And I'm going to offer one more, but I would like to offer it from our sacred mountain, which we would exchange dances and songs. So here we go. And this chant is talking about our sacred mountain, Mauna Awakea, because we are talking about healing. And the healing starts first with us, with our own ancestors. And then how do we come in a good way? So we're going to offer the sacred chant from Mauna Awakea, which talks about our sky father, our earth mother, our star mother, and then the first people. O hano ka mauna hakea, o pu'ua e ka mauna hakea. O hanau ka mauna kea, o hanau ka mauna hakea, o pu'ua e ka mauna hakea. O wakea ke kane o papa, o wakea ke kane o papa, walinu'u ka wahine. O wakea ke kane o papa, o wakea ke kane o papa, walinu'u ka wahine. Hana hoku he wahine, Ana o ho'ohoku he wahine, ana o haloa he ali'i. Ana o hoku he wahine, ana o ho'ohoku he wahine, ana o haloa he ali'i. Ana o ka mauna kea, ana o ka mauna kea, e keiki mauna Ahakea. Hanao ka mauna kea. Hanao ka mauna kea. Keiki ki mauna ahakea. Eo wakea. So we also, what we did is we offered our genealogy, not only Sky Father and Earth Mother and Star Mother. We just told the people that we are approaching. In this instance, it's the Tongva Nation, where we come from, what lands we come from, what waters we come from, what mountains we come from, what traditions we come from, and that we come away. So mahalo, sister, for allowing all of us to come onto your lands, to come in a good way. And I truly, as us, not myself only, our people know that when we come in a good way, to knowing who the First Nations people of each land is across the world, that is a way to heal. That is a way to heal. So we send prayers out to not just Tongva Nation, but we send out our prayers out to all of Turtle Island, Mokuhonu, from Canada to aka America to Mexico to Asia, Africa, Middle East, Europe, Polynesia, North and Southern hemispheres, Western and East hemispheres. We mahalo you for allowing us to be here so that we can have ceremony here on your land. So mahalo, and sister, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, sister. And thank you also for uniting the people everywhere you go, for spreading the message of love, unity, and for adhering to the protocols that were set forth in the beginning. So thank you so much. And we offer prayers at this time also for Mauna Kea, our sacred mother there in Hawaii.
Mahalo, sister.
So I wanted to share a story. It's a story about a kutet. And it's started long, long ago after Creator made our universe, the Earth and the planet relatives, all those were made. And he began creating the insects and the animal people. In those days, the animals were different, since some of them were very, very large and others could actually talk. And it was a good time, but Creator needed someone who could live amongst the plant life and let him know how they felt, like truly felt deep inside, and if the elements were happy and healthy. So he created a kutet. He told her that she would have the ability to communicate with the plant life and all the elements, but she would have a very short lifespan so that she could come back and report to him how things were here. Her life would begin and be in phases so that she could first intersect with the soils and then the lower level plant life that grew just short upon the soils. And then she'd go through metamorphosis and she'd emerge with wings so that she could interact with the trees and the airs in the higher elevations. And over the centuries, Creator made a kutet, even more brighter and beautiful colors. And he just loved every single version. So her offspring would continue in these different forms and different varieties. And during this time, Creator made many other animal species, including us humans. It didn't take long, though, for the humans to control and change everything on Earth. And through the times, as a kutet would come and go, and she would see all these various changes, she began to be a little fearful. And in the 18th century, things really changed drastically. In such a relatively short time, the air quality was beginning to change, and the plants and the waters were beginning to feel it. After many lifespans, Akutet started to beg the Creator not to send her back to Earth. And this saddened Creator. It saddened him greatly because he had a lot of love for Akutet as he did for all of creation. So one day, when Akutet was ready to begin her new journey to the Earth, Creator sat down with her and he asked her why was she so fearful. So she told him what was happening on Earth, how things were beginning to change and how the plant life and the animal life were beginning to suffer. And even the human life would suffer, but they don't know it yet. She didn't understand exactly what was happening, but she heard certain words that she didn't understand, things like progress, capitalism, and power. And she feared the look in the eyes of the humans. Creator suddenly understood fully what she was talking about. And he decided that he had to let things play out the way they would, because one day things would change. Solutions would come and things would change and things would become better. But he had to allow what was going to happen. So his solution was to allow Akutet and her species to continue to live in their short life cycles, to enjoy life the way they should. But he took away their ability to feel so deeply so that they could live their lives without fear. So here we are today in a climate crisis, our waters, many of them poisoned, our air is unclean, and many people are living selfish lifestyles of convenience, but also of lots of waste. So I have to wonder if this pandemic we're experiencing now is here to force us to change our destructive ways. With hundreds of thousands of good-hearted people that are coming together, just like all of you, and we're holding massive prayers, meditation, circles around the world of love and hope, I feel good about it. I feel good that our youth is stepping up, that they're going to make the changes that need to be changed, that they will be soon replacing the greedy ones in power, and they will be in charge of making our earth whole again, healthy again. This will help the 7 generations to come. So again, at this time, I would just like to send my love and light, and I ask you to join me to send this out to the whole universe. Let's pray for healing and positive change. Let's just take in a deep breath, connect to Creator, and send it down into our Earth Mother. Let's share this energy of love and gratitude, because I have hope that everybody that's joining in here will help to make a difference. And I have hope that healing will begin. It starts with us, and we send it out to the whole universe. So I'm going to offer another song, and this is our Mother Earth song. Aweshkane yo yo kohor, aweshkane yo yo kohor. Orura mahekwa are yo heken, yo yo kohor, aweshkane aweshkane yo yo kohor. Aweshkone yo yo kohor. Orura mahekwa are yo heken, yo yo kohor, aweshkone 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 yo yo kohor. Aweshkone yo yo kohor. Orura mahekwa are yo heken, yo yo kohor, aweshkone aweshkone. So this song, it thanks our Earth Mother. Aweshkone in Tongva is a way that we say I'm happy, and it's also a way that we express gratitude. So it's thanking her for the food, the water, the air, everything that she provides for us to survive. And so I offer gratitude at this time. And I also invite my sister Mikilani to come back on and share.
Aloha.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Tina and Mikilani. I'm staying very present to what you're about to share again. Thank you.
Well, I just want to actually share a few more prayers. One of these prayers is healing for our earth. And again, but before I go into that, actually, I wanted to share that, like my sister Tina, I'm going to set up in the beginning, and I believe our traditions are the way that is going to heal our world, because it's the type of relationship we had at one time. It's the type of relationship we had at one time. And I'm going to take you, let's go back to Hawaii. We're not talking about the Hawaii you see right now. We're talking about the Hawaii that once was. Imagine each island, we called each section of the island, we would take each section of the island and call it an ahupua'a. So let's take you to the island of Hawaii Island. Some of you know it as the Big Island. But in order to give the correct power to an island, you need to call it not only island and waters and mountains, the names of its name, what it once was. Sorry, I'm going to back up a little bit. So I'm going to say thank you to, again, my sister Tina of the Tongva Nation, because their mountain told me. And I went to another elder, and asked if it was okay that I said that. And she said yes. And the name of that mountain is called Harakmakna. I will say AKA because I'm saying so that people only recognize the Western name, but to give it its true power is to give its name back to what it once was. So Harakumakna has really healed me through so many things. And every time I would go to that sacred mountain, I would go there. I would, before I even entered, I would pray. Living here on Turtle Island, on Tongva lands and Tataviam lands, I learned that I could use my traditions in a good way to heal. And I was raised in my traditions since I was a little girl. My songs, my chants, my dances, and realizing that my dances and my chants aren't for people to be entertained. I've always felt that it's always been prayerful. But of course, we all go through the motions and we learn these things. So going to Harakumakna reminded me that as long as I go in a good way, and what does that mean to come in a good way? So I'm going to give you an example of what I did, and I am going to take us back to Hawaii. And it is because of my tradition, the process of my change, of my own personal healing from within out. And I'm talking about our spiritual healing. So I would go to the mountain, and I never thought I would ever make it up a mountain like that. And so I would go to the mountain. I would bring my medicine, my offering, which is Hawaiian salt. And again, it's my people's medicine, and I'm gonna say my people's medicine because we're gonna go back to where it comes from and who takes care of it. That's why I'm saying mine. So I would go to that base of that mountain, and again, it is someone's home. As I approached that mountain, Harakumakna, I would have my Hawaiian salt, but I was also taught by my family, my Ohana, the Tongva people, and Tataviam and Chumash, and the list goes on. Kumia, giving shout out to them. Some people use tobacco. Some of them use tobacco as offerings. So I would bring my salt and my tobacco. I would say my prayers to ask permission to come into this place, into this very sacred space. And as I did that, I would lay as I would do my chant, no ho anake akuai kana hele hele ia la ia e ke ki o hu e ka wa ko e he na kino malu I kalani malu e ho he ho ulu mai ana o la kai kona mau kahu o ma ko no ai no ho anake akuai kana hele hele ia la ia e ke ki ohu e kaua koko. E he na kino malu I kalani malu e ho e he ho ulu mai ana o laka I kona mau kahu. O ma kono ai. No ho anake akua I kana hele hele ia la ia e ke ki ohu e kaua koko. E he na kino malu I kalani malu e ho e he ho ulu mai ana o laka I kona mau kahu. O ma kono ai. That chant was asking permission to go in and enter. And we're so used to seeing human signs, but in ancient traditional ways, we always paid attention to signs. And I know many of you understand this. We paid attention to the birds, the way the wind would move, the way the clouds would form, the way the earth would move, all of it. And in our na'au, in our spirit, we would know it was time. So for me, I like to do 3. That's my number. I do it 3 times. The same way when we knock on a door, and when we knock on that door, the person we're knocking on for maybe have not heard it. We'll do it again. And by the 3rd time we knock, boom, the door opens sometimes if they're home. So for me, I wait, and I wait for 3 signs. And when those 3 signs appear, then I drop my salt, I drop the tobacco, and then I do my another chant for them and say, Ooh, hola, ia, kamakalo wala. Pua ike alohala. Kuka ia kahalo wala. Pavehi mai na lehua. Mai ka ho'oku ia ka halawaila. Mahalo he na akua. Mahalo he na kupuna la ea. Mahalo me ke alohala. Mahalo me ke alohala. And then I would enter. And I say these things because if you notice, every time I led into a prayer, as we would traverse that mountain, I would traverse that mountain every time she would heal me, and I would do other chants as I'm going up. We were very strong and mighty people, and we still strong and mighty people. We just need to remember that. And as I would go up, I would lay my prayers for my sacred mountain, Mauna Awakea, for Harakamakna, for the Tongva Nation, for all nations across the world, for all people. And when I was done, I would sit and eat with her. And then I would chant all the way back down. This is why I say traditions is going to heal us. So now I'm going to take us back to Hawaii. So imagine being in Hawaii, where you got people working in the taro patches, our lo'is. You got people working in the ocean. You got people who are gathering medicine. You got basket weavers. You got many people who have many different jobs. But at that time, we didn't think of it as a job. We thought of it as a way how we took care of something that Creator, Keakua, Naakua, Nakupuna, left us and gave us. So if we were working in a taro patches or fishing, same way how I said how we entered, how I would enter a mountain, Harakmakna, it would be the same way we did at home. On our islands, we're into sections called ahupua'as. And the ahu means an altar. What a concept. Ahu meaning altar. The earth is our altar. So if the earth is our altar, shouldn't we be praying every day? Like from the moment we wake up till we go to bed? So imagine being on the island, and if I was working with the tarot or the medicine, and I'll give an example. When I'm gathering here, I do the exact same thing. I chant, ask my permission to enter a space, wait for the signs, walk in, know that I am walking on that altar. Every day we traverse on these lands. As soon as we wake up, actually, even when you're sleeping, you are sleeping on sacred lands. So why wouldn't we wake up with a song of prayers and gratefulness and gratitude? So you wake up, you get ready, you're chanting already. You're chanting to them saying, help me for today. Help me to see, help me to gather the food, help me to gather the supplies I need for making a basket or clothing or fishing or medicine. Get ready, get out, and then we go out. We would wake up if you were a farmer, depending on what you did in the community, in your ahupua'a, your for our world. So I'm gonna leave us with this one again, and this one is for healing. So I'm gonna send target, and I talk about intentions. Intentions are so important. Intentions are so important because it's what's inside, which is our ancestral remembrance. Our na'au comes from our connection to them, and remembering those feelings, and remembering that at one time, because we prayed all the time, sang, if it came in a song or a dance, that was all prayer. That we were so connected to those prayers that they became it. So here we go. Kapu kahaloa ku makapea. Kanuya haloa ulu hahaloa. Okalao haloa ike lao pukae. Kapu kahaloa ku makapea. Kanuya haloa ulu hahaloa. Okalao haloa ike lao pukae. Kapu kahaloa ku makapea. Kanuya haloa ulu hahaloa. Okalao haloa ike lao pukae. Kapu kahaloa ku makapea. Kanuya haloa ulu hahaloa. Okalao haloa ike lao pukae. Kapu kahaloa ku makapea. Kanuya haloa ulu hahaloa. Okalao haloa ike lao pukae. Kapu kahaloa ku makapea. Kanuya haloa ulu hahaloa. Okalao haloa ike lao pukae. So sending healing thoughts and prayers to all of you. And I'm going to turn this back over to you, Michelle.
Wow. Mikilani Young and Tina Calderon, thank you, thank you, thank you for putting us in the space of sacredness. We know that these are unprecedented times, and for many people, they're feeling a little bit uneasy. And what I have come to learn is that the indigenous cultures are bringing us back to that remembering that we're one human family and that prayer is so important. That's why we've invited all of you today who are watching us live or who may catch the live stream. This is what DisclosureFest Foundation's all about, getting us all together and becoming a united force field of light to bring peaceful waves, calm the collective. It's so important that we all stay in our heart space right now. And Disclosure Fest has been doing that with the mass meditation initiatives for the last 4 years. And we are planning on going ahead on June 20th at Los Angeles State Historic Park. They've asked us to continue to stay steady and to bring everybody to this festival in person, because we really feel that we are parting the waves now and we will get through this, and we invite you to all join with us on June 20th. Now it looks like I have Jose Munos here. He is our Mayan day keeper, and he has been tireless in his efforts of bringing unity, peace, and love all across the globe. And I'm really honored and privileged to have Jose come on and join with us again. Mahalo nui loa, Mikilani Young and Tina Calderon, for sharing your beautiful stories, culture, prayers, and songs with us. Jose, you're ready with the Mayan calendar and you're starting a fire for us? Total ceremony. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we are at the Mayan calendar Dreamcatcher manifestation station #1 in downtown Los Angeles. There's 9 of them in the US for now. And we're going to set our fire, our sacred fire on the sacred day of the crocodile, Imish, This is a prayer that we are going to do from now on every day at 6:20 a.m. The prayer is for all the brothers and sisters around the world to remember that this current global crisis that we have going on will be over completely by June 20th. If you have, that's the time. Yeah, the time fell off the sky literally. So I wanna say that again with my heart to your heart. This is a prayer for happiness, a prayer for health, your mental, physical, and spiritual health. This is the first of the fires every day at 6:20 a.m. at the Temple of the Jaguars at the Mayan Calendar Dreamcatcher Manifestation Station #1 in downtown Los Angeles. This is a prayer from the Mayan tribes to the human tribes. We're all Mayab, we're all people. We're all indigenous to this planet, and in that sense, this is a prayer from us to us. Mother Earth, our elders, our children, for the past present and the future ancestors. You have to everything that you into the highest good. This, my brothers and sisters, this is the sacred fire. This will be lit every day at 6:20 a.m. Put in the daily prayer to arrive 6:20, June 20th, downtown Los Angeles, to share love, to share balance, to share unity, to share peace, to share harmony. This, my brothers and sisters, is going to be lit every day, 6:20 a.m. Prayer for the heart, your heart. Prayer for the happiness. Prayer for the health, mental, physical, spiritual. And you give your fire, when you give life of sacred fire, your fire, dear Mikilani, your student, and all the other elders who is joining us around the world, having that certainty that we are in perfect harmony, that we are the one who prays for Mother Earth and everybody else unconditionally. Today, I remember together with my brothers and sisters from across the world that we are all indigenous to this planet. Today is a sacred day of us to hope to watch, to learn, to live. To remember the other crisis is already over. It's 2020. Today we remember we're healthy. Today we remember we're trusting in God and working hard. Adrian text me. But yes,
Jose, that fire and the music and the prayers in your heart are really, really bringing us into our heart center. And I appreciate being a part of your ceremony and that you're bringing us all into the sacred ways of the Maya. The fire helping to cleanse and purify. And it feels so good to really feel the balance between Nina and Mikilani and you, Jose, bringing the feminine and the masculine, the waters, the fire, the earth and the wind, and all the elements, the harmony, the balance. We appreciate you so much. And thank you to all of you who are joining with us today and really igniting the ceremonies in each one of your souls. We are all one human family, and these star ancestors are leading us back into the original teachings on Earth, the indigenous ways that many of us have forgotten and are beginning to remember again. And that's why these ceremonies are so important during this time. Jose had introduced us. The other night we had a Zoom call to talk about how we were going to facilitate this star ancestor space today. And Jose brought in his sister, a Mayan priestess, Shuni Giron, and she was with us at DisclosureFest Mass Meditation last year in Los Angeles. And when she came on, she felt the resonance of what we are co-creating here with each one of you who are watching us today. And she wanted to give an offering herself. And it feels really good to have this balance of the masculine and the feminine weaving in harmony together and bringing about this peaceful field that we really are creating this cohesive container of divine love and unity and peace and healing for the collective of humanity, for our species to continue on its evolutionary path. And so we invite Shuni on. She is going to be calling in the 20 Mayan energies with us here. Jose, do you want to give a little bit of can you give an introduction to Shuni? I see your hand. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to pray together and finding out today that the universe has a better idea of how to do the things we want to do. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity to remain in humble service. In that way, I want to say thank you everyone for coming to our sacred fire. And it's going to continue to be on until 10 p.m. tonight. And also every day at 6:20 a.m. from now on. And in that sense, we help this prayer be fueled by love, by humbleness, and by understanding that we are but a grain of sand in the beaches of the universe. But we can get together. And just like drops of water in rain, we can form the powerful force of water, carrying knowledge everywhere. Thank you, Shuni, for coming in, and
thank you, Jose.
leading us on into the fire for us.
Matiosh. And Shuni is ready before she goes on to her live broadcast. She's going to be calling in the 20 Mayan energies. Thank you again, Jose. Shuni, are you there? I saw you peek in a minute ago.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
can you hear me?
There you are. Yes, thank you for joining with us last minute. We can hear you, yes.
And you can hear me and you can see me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. It is an honor for me to be here sharing the Mayan energies. What I am going to do, I'm going to do a Mayan prayer. I'm going to call in the 20 sacred Mayan energies that are in our sacred body. I'm going to call each one for all our hearts, for all humanity, because the 20 energy, a complete human being that is complete with his 20 powers of consciousness and awareness. So take a minute to breathe with me, connect with the sacred energies, connect with your sacred heart, connect with your sacred creator and former. We thank you, Grandma Earth. We take this 13 emotions today. We call upon the energy of Ahau Nawal emotion, spirit of the waters. I call upon the sacred waters of life. I call upon the sacred waters in our bodies. I call upon the transparency of each one of us, the fluidity of the waters. I thank the rivers. I thank the cascades. I thank the oceans, the spring waters. I call upon water of life, and I thank Ahau Nawalimosh. Maltiosh Nahau, Ahau Nawalimosh. I call upon the energy of Ahau Nawal, the wind that we breathe, the power of the mind, the fluidity of the spirit, breath of life. I ask Ahau Nawal Ik for the winds of change, for the purity of the mind and the spirit of all human beings. I thank Ahau Nawal Ik. I call upon the energy of Ahau Nawal Akabal, the night. I call into the light. I call into balance. I call upon the spirit of the net that unites one. I call upon the spirit of Ahau Nawal Kat to allow each one of us.
Shuni, I am so sorry to come in. Shuni, we're having technical difficulties with your connection, and it's really glitching on your end, on your connection. So I'm not sure your Wi-Fi is strong enough right now. I wanted to hear all of the sacred energies that you're calling in, but it doesn't sound like your connection is strong enough to support.
So can I record it for you and send it to you?
Yeah, why don't you record it, and we'll edit this video at the end, and when people want to come back on, we can probably edit that in. I think Neil will probably be able to do that for us, but for now, we can't.
Okay, if I can do a recording. Okay,
you just send it. We're gonna have to cut your camera now because we're having such technical difficulties hearing you.
Okay, go ahead.
So, thank you so much for joining with us, Shuni. I feel the energy of what you're doing, and thank you for co-creating with us and for doing what you're doing. I'm hoping Jose can come back on and talk a little bit about the sacred fire that you're doing, that you'll be doing after this broadcast, because I know you had to be off by about 3:30. So Jose, are you with us?
Thank you.
Thank you again, Shuni. Okay, well, we're trying to get Jose back on. Sorry about the technical difficulties. One of the things that I really felt was happening during this time on this 4/4 gateway, this Stargate, I had gotten I had gotten information in my own body about a year ago to do something called Honoring the Galactic Goddess on this particular day, 4/4/2020, which is a 4/4/4 date. And Shuni felt so aligned with that balance of feminine and masculine energy. And we felt like we really wanted to put her on and balance that. And Jose, we thank you for coming back on with the Sacred Fire. And thank you for introducing us to the Mayan priestess Shuni. Can you tell our audience what you guys are doing later on? You're having a Sacred Fire later on today as well, correct?
Yeah, we're having 20 ceremonial sites around the world with the same prayer that I said earlier, curbing the global crisis. These 20 timekeepers from around the world, they're impact makers that we have come. This is the first time we come together in 52 years.
Wow.
So this is the fire that I dedicated to this DisclosureFest existence, but also it transcends, it transmutes into the next event. And other than that, if I may, I'd like to continue the reciting of the ancestral Nahuals that Nana Shuni started.
That sounds fabulous. We have a few more minutes before Chief Phil Lane will be joining us at 3:15.
Beautiful.
Let's keep going.
So
Jose.
you guys tell the timekeepers. I think we have exactly 8 minutes and 12 seconds. So here we go.
Sacred.
We call upon the ancestors of the Ikakal, the owls of the universe, to bring light to the darkness that people are finding in panic and fear. We call upon the ancestors, cat, the lizard. We call upon her and him to keep weaving dreams of splendor. Keep weaving dreams, carrying our baskets of dreams to the universe where we find clean air, clean water, and clean food for everyone. We call upon the sacred ancestors of Kang, cat. Kang cat, the snake, the serpent will bring us all remembering the energy that goes through us. We call upon all the ancestors of Kame, our transformers, as sacred ones to show us the way into the spiritual world. We call upon the sacred ancestor of Kek, the deer, protecting the jungles, protecting the deserts, protecting the forests of Mother Earth. We call upon the ancestors of Canil, the ancestors, travelers of space and time throughout the universe, who will guide us all to open our hearts and minds and spirits, to open our hands to receive the abundance of the universe coming through us in sacred portal of April 4, 2020. We call upon the sacred ancestors of Pach, to heal our sacred fire, when we bring all of our afflictions and our fears. It is the sacred fire, our Mayan hospital, that will breathe in the sacred air into our lungs, the respiratory system, to keep us healthy. We call upon the ancestors of Chi, the dog, loyalty, and justice for all. We ask for it. It's here now. Now we need to adapt to it, the new world that we're living in. We call upon the ancestors of Ev, the shining path that we walk on. And we remember that all we need to do to get what we want, what we need, and what we must have is to smile. We can practice. Come on. Call upon the ancestors of authority. Actobel. Let's walk this walk to June 20th with authority, remembering global crisis is over. We call upon the magicians, the Ish of the world, to stay alert like the jaguars. Ish, like us, live fearless but not careless. We call upon the ancestors of the eagles, Chikin, to help us see from the top, to help us see through everybody's eyes, to have compassion for everyone. No matter what part of the journey they're in, we must show compassion. We must show respect, like the eagles. We also call upon our sacred ancestors of Akmak theme, Akmak the condors. We call upon you, ancestors, to help us see the future, help us change our own future, and remember to have the integrity when we do advise and change other people's futures. We call upon the ancestors of Noh Kaban. Noh Kaban is the sacred prayer. More than ever in our existence today, it's extremely important to be mindful of what we say or what we think after the words I am. I am so beautiful. I am. I am so abundant. I am. We call upon the ancestors of the medicine, the black obsidian medicine, our doctors of the villages. We call upon these doctors to embody those who are in the front lines in hospitals across the world. We send our love and compassion to them. For them to remember that when they do sacrifice their lives so others can live on, it's not sacrifice, it's service. We thank you, Black Obsidian Doctors of the Universe, for being here with us in sacred ceremony. We call upon Kawak, the storm, to become drizzles of change and gentleness. It becomes the most compassionate rehabilitators of Mother Earth and all our brothers and sisters who are surviving and rehabilitating in this event, through the event, and after the event. We need the ancestors of Kawak, the storm, to be compassionate. We become the ones who can and comfort each other. And finally, we call the ancestors of the past, the present, and the future from all multi-realities and multi-universe. One Akpu, two Akpu, three Akpu, four Akpu, five Akpu, six Akpu, seven Akpu, eight Akpu, nine Akpu, 10 Akpu, 11 Akpu, 12 Akpu, 13 Akpu. It is the certainty that comes through this Nawal that allows me to share with love and gratitude that this global crisis is over, June 20th. It is with certainty of the Akpu, the master adapters of the world, that anyone who watches this video and hears this message with their heart, who hears this message with their eyes, will be able not just to survive but thrive after the event.
Thank you.
But Josh, brothers and sisters, looking forward to hear from Uncle Phil.
Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Thank you for continuing the ceremony with us. And we apologize for the glitches earlier. We're trying to tap dance a little bit here, but we are really excited to welcome Chief Phil Lane of the Dakota and Chickasaw Nations. And I met Chief Phil and Jose both at the same time in Sedona, Arizona. Who knew back then that we would be co-creating this Star Ancestor space at DisclosureFest Mass Meditation Initiative? And we have Chief Phil here with us on this live stream today. He is all over the place. He's also going to be on Unify's live stream. I think his time is at 7:45 tonight. Chief Phil, it is my honor to bring you on. Thank you for joining with us. And I don't know if you were able to see Tina Calderon and Mikilani Young and Jose, our brother Jose Munos, and Shuni Giron, but we're all co-creating this together. And this was your title for this live stream, Remembering We Are One Human Family. Thank you for being with us, Chief Phil.
Yes, well, you know, sister, it's so nice wonderful to be with you. And also, you know, Brother Jose has played such a pivotal role at different times in my life when, you know, very key things were unfolding. And I call him and he's right on time every time. And so we're really, really gifted to have him there. And I'm just getting to know Tina. I'm just getting to know Tina. I enjoyed very much. And also Mikilani. So I'll get a chance to know them more. And I'm glad we'll be able to record that. Sometimes these little internet things are challenging, but we can always get around them. So
yes.
Appreciate it. Well, you know, sister, I've been reflecting on this sacred day because 4/4/2020, astronomically, in terms of the spiritual sense of this day, in terms of what Brother Jose has revealed about this day. And in numerology, this day is 4/4/4. 4/4/4. So this is a day for the beginnings of new initiatives, empowered by a vision that transcends this material world as we know it to a world that's founded in exact title of this presentation is sharing. Remember, we're all members of one human family. We came from the same sacred seed. And just like the baby in the mother's womb goes through all kinds of different forms, and at one point, if you're not a trained physician, you can't tell the difference between a human fetus and a pig fetus, if I might have been told. But yet, from that microscopic beginning, in the very seed that's been within us from the beginning of time, we emerge into humans that we are. We have always been human beings, and wherever that goes to, because, you know, when we close and really close our eyes and go deep within ourselves, there's a place that goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And we know scientifically that this universe we live in is infinite. Is infinite. So if that's the case, how much more infinite are the spiritual worlds beyond? They're limitless. We are limitless. Each of us is a sovereignty, ancient, imperishable, and everlasting. If we follow that first counsel, that is, possess a pure, kindly, and radiant heart. So this is a time of this new beginning. And of course, I think that before I go on here, and I was so thankful our sister came, and the first thing she did, which was a proper protocol, and that was to honor on whose land we're standing. I mean, that's a proper protocol we've always done. That's part of our code of ethics, to respect and honor everybody's space, whether it's personal space, whether it's family space, whether it's collective space, whether it's national space, however space it is to to really honor that space. And so I think that it's appropriate on this beautiful day, in my old 75 winter way. You got to know in 75 winters, you know, your mind sometimes doesn't quite function as much as good as it used to. But that gives more room to get out of the way so the spirit can work. That's what I'm finding. Because when it really is this, we get out of the way, let the spirit work, that's when something happens. So I'd like to just share this prayer, if I may, sister, with all our beloved relatives. Mitaki api, my beloved relatives of our human family. I'm so thankful we're here, and I pray that you're standing in strength, no matter what tests and difficulties come in your way. We were born for this day. We were born for this day that shall not be followed by night. O Tenkashla Wakantaka, creator of all good things, most beloved one, all powerful one, most kind one, most compassionate one, ever forgiving one, ever abiding one, ever uniting one, most humble one. We call upon all our relatives in the spiritual worlds beyond and around to join us at this time, to join us as we as a human family transcend into our spiritual adulthood through this great time and turbulence of our teenage years, so to speak. We ask those beloved ones, we call on from the beginning of time that they be with us at this time in a good way. And Takashi, we call upon all those tribes days to the east, from where comes the red sunrise, from where comes the red horse. We call upon all those tribes and nations to come together in unity and harmony. The Wakantaka, creator of all good things, great spirit, we call upon the black horse, all the tribes and nations of the west, Takashi, we call upon, that's what I told you about, being 75 winters. That's okay. So we're going from east to the south. Otenkashi, we call upon all those tribes and nations of the south, from where comes the high noon, where everything's kind of yellow or pale. From where comes the yellow or pale horse, we call upon those sacred powers to come together in unity and harmony. The Wakantaka, creator of the universe, we call upon all those tribes and nations to the west, from where comes thunder, lightning, and rain. And from where comes the black horse. And we call upon all those tribes and nations to come together in unity and peace and harmony. And to call upon those tribes and nations to the north. From where comes the white snow, where the white giant lives, the purifying north winds, and the white horse. We call upon all those tribes and nations that they may come together in unity and harmony in honor of our Father Sky. And we ask forgiveness, Creator, for us, his men, for the masculine elements of life, for the awkward ways we walk this path, but we give thanksgiving for our beloved Mother Earth, and the day has come for the rising of the source of all creation, the feminine spirit of life, arising within each and every one of us, arising in each and every dimension of this life, along with the emergence of the seventh generation. For this we give thanksgiving with all our hearts and souls. We ask that we might enter into this upcoming healing and wellness ceremony that will begin on the 8th of April until the 22nd of May, that we might join our hearts and minds together during this time for those relatives who truly want to come together and share all the teachings and learnings that we can and transform ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and also develop our collective vision of where we step to in this day that shall not be followed by night. And we give thanksgiving again for DisclosureFest and this good work that's done, my sister. Thank you, Sister Michelle, Brother Adrian, and all that are joining us in this. How me takiasi Shukmano Hameado, Chinupasape Medo, Howlimichante Washte. So I just want to close up by saying, in our Dakota way, we say our name. My name is Shukmano. I have another name, Chinupasapa, and I stand responsible before the Creator for my words and my actions both. No one can condition anybody else's soul but themselves. So what we say and what we do, you know, my sister taught me that lesson. My sister always teaches me great lessons, my sister Gloria. And so it'll be a year this next weekend on this very day that I rode this horse. And I was going to ride a horse because my dad rode till he's in his 80s. And so I thought, well, I'm 75, I can ride a horse. But what I didn't remember in my arrogance, in a certain way, I mean, this idea, you know, because sometimes we not really have to take stock of where you're at. And so I'm not like I used to ride in my young days. So anyway, and I hadn't been on a horse for about 30 years. So I got on this horse and I got on. As soon as I got on, I realized those stirrups were way too long. And, you know, when you go into that trot, you got to have your legs have, you know, so you can just move with that horse like that. So anyway, so I said, can you shorten these stirrups up? And of course, what had happened was they had picked a location for us to do this really quite an elaborate thing with, you know, this vehicle goes beside you, and as you're riding the horse, makes picture of you and all that. And when they went there, this place was deserted. They didn't realize on the Saturday we choose to shoot, it became a dirt bike and related other vehicle paradise. So horses were spooked. They wanted to get forward. He said, well, I can't shorten your stirrups. Well, I knew better. I knew he could have shortened. But I wanted to ride that horse. I wanted to be like my dad, really. And I wanted to also demonstrate, you know, just because we're old, we can still ride. Well, you know, I took off, and I'll tell you what, I hit that doggone saddle at that trot. And I mean, I went off that saddle, and I'll tell you, when I hit that saddle back down, I thought my back, I thought I was dead right there. I mean, paralyzed. I mean, not dead yet, but by the time I fell off the horse, but I kept on going. I knew I had to get through to that gallop. When I got to the gallop, of course, then I didn't want to stop. Well, anyway, I did stop, and I got off, and I noticed I went back. Anyway, so anyway, I really, really, really damaged my back, which resulted in a back operation and all that stuff. And so after that, I was telling my sister, I was saying to my sister, Gloria, who really straightens me out when I need to. She said, I said, sister, the Creator really humbled me. You know, kind of was like that. The Creator really humbled me. She says, come on, Phil. The Creator didn't humble you. The Creator gave you free will. You humbled your own self. And then my father's teaching came back to me. He said, son, because I asked him, tell me about humility, Dad. He said, son, when you need to learn more about humility, you will humble yourself. And then I understood what he said. You know, so that kind of got off on that little side story there. Now bring me back now.
I love your stories. And you know, one of the things that you have always reminded me of is how when we use humor, when we're in ceremony, that we can use humor to change energy and to bring us all back into that really joyful place. So I love your stories. And I know that you are here aligning all of us together to remember that we are one human family. And you're doing a lot of work on the planet right now. I've seen how tireless you are, all of you, Tina and Mikilani and Shuni and Jose, and you jumping on all these live streams and uniting our human family and helping us to remember that there's no difference between each one of us, and that it's actually our job and our responsibility to take these unprecedented times and bring us back into our heart space so that we can usher in, as you talk about, what the prophecies bring us to is this new golden age that brings us back into a harmonious way of living in balance with the earth.
Absolutely.
And I know that
Yes,
you'll probably be
absolutely.
talking about that on some of your other live streams as well. Can you also share with us about your talking circles and what you're doing
And
with?
you know, sister,
Mhm. Your camera just, it looks like your camera just froze, Chief Phil. I'm wondering about all these technical little glitches now. So it looks like Chief Phil's camera is frozen. We'll see if he can get back on. If he can jump back in, we can continue with his stories. There you are.
there I am. So, sister, if I may, I see that the time is ticking by, and I know, and I love Jose, Brother Jose, because he knows that time so particularly. But I wanted to really speak briefly about the star ancestors. I want to talk about this healing and wellness ceremony we're launching on the 9th of April in partnership with DisclosureFest, Chief DisclosureFest Foundation, and others, but I'll talk about it in a minute. I want to say this. I'm going to really send my great heartfelt greetings and also appreciation to my dear cousin, Lauren Zephyr, Golden Light Eagle, Chief Golden Light Eagle. You know, I can remember way back before anything about extraterrestrial, intraterrestrial, all of these kind of awarenesses were coming to when he stood up and began to share this. And of course, you know, anybody who stands up in a community that's been very hurt, you know, obviously, you get a few. You know, I always say, you know, if you get enough arrows in the back and bullets in the front, you kind of become transparent. They kind of whiz through. So I know it's not an easy path, you know, to carry on this trying to understand that, to better understand our relationship with everything. But I want to share one of our sacred teachings, and I'll just go this far. And I think on this issue of star ancestors, and this is the sacred teaching, correct? Every fixed star has its fixed planets, and every planet its own creatures that no human being can compute. Let me say it one more time. Every fixed star has its fixed planets, and every planet its own creatures that no human being can compute. So I want to say, put that in there and say, so let's open our hearts and minds to everything. If this physical world is limitless, as I said before, how much more limitless are the spiritual worlds? This is limitless. It's our intention, but not only intention, it has to be aligned with principles. And so on April 9th, and I'm going to just share this if anybody wants to join us, it's simply 4 Worlds Circles, 4, F-O-U-R, Worlds, W-O-R-L-D-S, Circles, SCIRCLES @gmail.com. And I'm sure my good brother Adrian, who's so digitally, he can just get this taken care of and make that shared. But what we realized, and really this emerged really in less than a week almost, because you know there's no question. No, I shouldn't say a question. I mean, we know we're one human family. Okay, so there's no way to build a society except on this understanding of oneness. Mm-hmm. All right, because with that comes the elimination of all prejudice. How can we be prejudiced when we're all one? Anything that calls better than or less than, we're one people. And so we're having our 4 Worlds talking circle, a digital talking circle leadership program. Now, that is, we really understanding financially where people are. You know, we have, you know, those that can share, that's great, partially share, or share in payments, or if you need a full scholarship, please come on. Because surrounding this is an incredible other leadership program. Jose, every day for 7 weeks, he's going to give us a reading. We have morning yoga. So whatever you want to plug into, because it takes, during that 7 weeks, our prayer is we can emerge out of that as a seed crystal that can then empower the same thing in others. And this is able to happen. We've been working on this for so many years, digitally, effortlessly, because by the time everybody gets through, they'll be able themselves to conduct a talking circle via Zoom or whatever. And I think that what really pleases me is when we begin to see the relatives who are giving us a hand on this. So along with DisclosureFest and Four Worlds International Institute, we have the Chief Dan George Foundation. They're stepping in. And my good son, Reuben George, Sundance Chief Reuben George and his team, they're going to bring some really great things there. We have Four Worlds Europe. They're contributing from the work they've done there with our model and all the work they've done right in the heart of conflicts there between Rotterdam, between different religious groups. We've got Brother Jose, of course, going to come do the Mayan calendar readings every day, so we can kind of keep track that way. The 13 grandmothers, they're behind this. They're part of the sponsors. And then a dear brother Pato and sister Antoinette, Pato Banyan. They're great, incredible reggae singers. They're going to I shouldn't say reggae, they can sing anything. But tomorrow they're doing we have a program tomorrow on a nuclear-free world, and they're going to preview this incredible video. You'll enjoy the video. It's like Unify's video came out today. And Unify's in there, Sign, Standardized Network, Sign is there, John Raymer, Cooperation Games. And so we're there. And anybody else that wants to join in. So again, we have a few more minutes, a couple more minutes. Any last question? Any last thing you'd like me to reflect on, or got a corny joke you want to tell me, or?
I know we have that camaraderie between us. I love that. I love that you've stayed at my house and we've been in ceremony together.
Yes.
And I appreciate that you talked about a little bit about the nuclear. We haven't talked about what's going on with the decommissioning of the nuclear plant here. There's many areas around the world that are facing their challenges, and I really appreciate what you're doing to shed light upon those things, to bring us all back into the space of unity and prayers with each other. And I want to thank you, Chief Phil, for mentioning your cousin, Lauren Zephyr, Chief Golden Light Eagle. He's with the Star Knowledge organization, and he started that 24 years ago. What you were talking about when you shared a little bit about that, he is who I partnered with to put on the Honoring the Galactic Goddess event that was due to be today in Laguna Beach, and we've postponed it until August 8th. So there are many events that are going on around the world, and you're involved with so many of them. With this last little bit of time, I would really like you to share about what you did on your journey to Jordan and Palestine and Israel, and the May Peace Prevail on Earth and the United Religious Initiatives, and what you did with them and what you are doing with them.
Yes. Well, so there's a few moments here at the end I can do this.
You have actually, it looks like you have let's go about another 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Can we do that?
Well, I want to say that my father always used to say, he said, "Son, if we can't be happy today, what day are we waiting for?" You know, that's I think the part of having some humor in our lives. I don't know if I have in 5 minutes I can really, but let me just see if I can get to this. On the 1st of February, a global circle of religious, spiritual relatives from every faith you can imagine, Buddhist monks from Thailand, our relatives from across India, from everywhere, here, Indigenous people from here, from Australia, other places, we went on what we called a Holy Land Living Water pilgrimage. And it concluded at Megiddo, where the Battle of Armageddon physically is to take place. We went there to pray there together in a prayer that's never been done before with all these spiritual relatives to end war. That was very interesting. And again, I believe there's no wrong way to pray. And I think that this fighting we have going on, whether it's indigenous communities or whatever, is the greatest thing keeping us from coming together. Because we can't come together spiritually and respect one another spiritually, then we have a big problem if we can't do that. But anyway, so we got up to Megiddo and we all came together in one prayer. And the prayer was about ending war. And so we prayed, and it was a strong prayer. We're going to share the whole ceremony. Again, I said it's never been done before. We're going to share it. The energy was up there. But there's already a beautiful Israeli news piece on it. Anyway, it was so interesting because the way we ended up praying for war didn't happen the last minute. And when you see the full thing, you'll see we confronted it from two sides. The bookends of both sides of the sermon were about stopping war. Well, again, for those that as I said, I believe and studied every spiritual writing I can find. So I have no problem. I believe the source of all these spiritual writings, even though their social teachings are different, are one. I believe that. And so and I believe in these visions that people have, and I also believe that everything has an infinite spiritual meaning. So my interpretation of this may not be, here's very simple. If you go to the book of Revelations, in the very place we were, that we prayed right there about war, is the red horse of war. Now, for the Ahantawa, according to my grandfather, Vine Delorius Sr., that for us, the red represents the red sunrise that brings everyday remembering peace. So the other one is war, peace. Now, it's interesting. From that moment on, there was no more war because who came? The yellow horse. The yellow horse, the same as Black Elk's vision, by the way. You can find these horses exactly, or the pale horse, because it's kind of pale when everything's at high noon. The pale horse came. And that came. That's pestilence. That's virus, disease. That horse rode. Our horse, because we know in peace we have healing, the power to heal. So from peace we had healing. That's our horse that are calling upon now to take care of this horse. Because really, the transformation is simply transforming all the negative to the positive. You may say that which is not conducive to us, our further growth into that which is conducive. Then from there, of course, and it's already happening, is the black horse. The black horse is the horse of famine. But for us, it's the horse of prosperity, because if you have peace, you have healing, you have prosperity. And here's where we're at too. That white horse represents the conqueror. And if at these times, like my father said, at times of crisis, he says, visionary leaders arise, but be sure you know their hearts pure and their minds pure before you follow them, right? So here's what happens. At this time, either a type of a Hitler type, I don't know why you use him, but that type of person will arise, and that'll cause then a war, another war. The war will cause a pestilence, some more poverty, famine, and then again, that's been going on and on. But now, what is ours? For the white, that's wisdom. That's the wisdom. That's the white snow. That's the white hair we get. But also it's about the circle is completed. It's about harmony. It's about consultation. It's about cooperation. It's about co-development. So we're going to see, let's pray that we don't have to go through another cycle. Let's pray that there are going to be some famine here. There's going to be those individuals who are going to come and try to use this situation for their advantage. But I have total faith. It's been prophesied. And as sure as the sun rises every morning, there's no power on heaven or earth that's going to stop the fulfillment of these holy prophecies, because they're in alignment with the will of the Creator. and will who we are as human beings. So I love you.
Thank you.
How?
I love you too. And thank you so very much for sharing all your wisdom and your prayers, your stories. How does it feel? You're sandwiched between these beautiful feminine women. You've got Brother Jose with you. And now we're going to bring back on Tina Calderon from
Beautiful.
the Tongva Nation and
Beautiful.
Mikilani Young from the Hawaiian Nation. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank
We'll
you so
join
much.
with you on the Unify live stream when you're on at 7:45 Pacific time tonight.
Yes, we'll see you then. And my warm, loving greetings to all on this
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful day. 444. Thank you.
444. Thank you so much, Chief Phil. I'm just so uplifted and inspired to see all of the beautiful hearts that are coming together today all around the world. This is a global day of prayer and meditation as we usher in this peace. And so I am inviting back Tina Calderon of the Tongva Nation and Mikilani Young, our Hawaiian Kumu, to give us some final words and final prayers for about the next 7 or 8 minutes, I guess. Thank you both for coming back. Are your microphones on?
Mahalo.
Tina,
Yes.
your mic. There you are. Okay, take it away, ladies.
Thank you.
Mhm.
This has
Thank
been
you.
really a very good session, very interesting. For me, I just wanted to say something because this is so different for us of the Tongva tribe or Tongva Nation. Normally, we don't do things on internet, and we don't. This is just also different. Even Disclosure Fest is very different for us. But I feel like Spirit has called me into this direction, and I feel like it's so important for us to participate because, like Mikilani says, you can't have a prayer ceremony on the lands without the people. And so I am only a vessel to speak to my ancestors and ask for permission. So I do appreciate that you all are following these protocols. I'm going to pass it over to Mikilani, and then I would like to close with a healing song.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you. And thank you for stepping out of your normal tradition to join with us in this way. I know that all of the viewers and listeners that are watching are really appreciating and joining in prayer and learning a lot about protocol. Thank you for teaching me and for being one of my most precious sisters. And you too, Mikilani. Thank you.
So I just wanted to say again, thank you to everybody at Disclosure Fest for opening your spirits, your hearts, your minds, seeing the way that First Nations people of the lands do things and that are still and have been doing their traditions forever, like us at Mauna Kea and on the Hawaiian Islands, as well as on Turtle Island. There's many ceremonies that have been going on since the beginning of time. And prayer is just who we are as Indigenous people of the lands. And again, I say that everybody's Indigenous to their ancestral homelands. And I want to just give a shout out to many people who have been friending me on Facebook. Mahalo. I thank you guys. Come and join us at United in Aloha Social Amount of Prayers. We started it yesterday and it's going to go until April 12th. Just jump in and put your folks seeing messages. Okay. So come and join us and say your prayers. What I do is I take people virtually to their we're taking you virtually to Mauna Kea as if you were approaching her. And then I open up with prayers at 12 o'clock noon time. And then you come in and bring in your prayers. I hope people can hear me. Can everybody hear me? Because I see messages coming up. I apologize. So I've been doing this. I've been doing prayer feeds for over 520 days on Facebook, bringing people back into ceremony through live feeds since I traversed the world. So with that said, again, thank you, Disclosure Fest, Adrian, Neil, Michelle, and everyone else who has come on since Tuesday to now, and many more people are going to continue to come on. So I would like to give my prayers up to Mauna Awakea as always, because for us, Mauna Kea is our guide. She is our mama. She guides us, she protects us, she feeds us, and she nourishes us in the physical realm and in the spirit realm. Elehi mai lau ka ula I ke kahie. E he malama o ni hau a mali e. Aha mali e pa. Ka inu wahila. Ke inu mahila na hala o na we I ke kai. No na we kahala. No puna kawahine, no kalua no I kilawe ai uai ke ai. Ke kawalo havale mai la ka uai. Ka mauna o ka liu kuaha. I aloha me ka mahalo. Aloha, aloha e. E ka aloha wale mai la ka ua e. Ka mauna o ka liu kuaha. I aloha me ka mahalo. Aloha, aloha. And again, we thank you, Mauna Awakea. We thank you, Kia Kua Nakua Nakupuna Nau Makua and our Kahiko ones. Mahalo, Eo, Aho, and over to you, sister.
Thank you, my sister. That was beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to just offer this healing prayer to close out. It's a song, and it was brought to me through ancestor, through spirit. And so I sing it, and I ask for prayers for all of those who are sick, for all of those who are dealing, whether it's this virus or pneumonia or cancer or diabetes and all these other illnesses that are affecting our peoples, as well as the illnesses that are affecting our lands and our waters. I just pray for everybody to heal at this time. I send so much love and light. Blessings to all of you who joined in, and blessings to all of your families. Stay well.
Thank you, Tina Calderon of the Tongva Nation. Thank you, my sister. Thank you to Mikilani Young from our Hawaiian Kumu. Thank you, Jose Munoz and Shuni Giron, our Mayan day keepers. Thank you to Chief Phil Lane from the Dakota and Chickasaw Nations. Thank you to the Disclosure Fest team, Adrian Valera and the team at Disclosure Fest for putting on this live with Neil Gore from Portal to Ascension. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Follow Your Heart, GT's Kombucha, Calafia Farms, and biomats.com. They helped fund our putting this whole program on, and they're helping to sponsor Disclosure Fest Mass Meditation and all of these live streams. We have live streams going on all the way through May the 6th. We have next week on Tuesday, it's every Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 to 4 p.m. And this coming Tuesday, we have Lava and Free Soul doing a meditation and a live performance. And Jimmy Church will be hosting that segment, if all of you know him from Fade to Black. We also have Amanda Sage. She's an amazing galactic goddess who does painting and art, and she's leading a training workshop and a meditation 3 to 4 p.m. on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the 8th, we have Jay Brave. He's doing a Remember Your Divine Nature offering. And we also have Robin Parrish and Atasia doing ecstatic dance. So it really does feel like we have entered into the new Renaissance. We are ushering in a whole new paradigm. And it's so important to me and to all of us at the Disclosure Fest team that you join with us in heart and in presence and in intention to really calm the field and pray like we did today. Go in ceremony, go out in nature, and know that this is going to pass and we are going to come back even greater, more in balance, more in harmony, more in peace and joy and unity with each other and with the earth that we live upon, Gaia. So we also have many other live streams going on. Like I said, every Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 to 4 p.m. We have Kiyoshi, Mirabai Devi, Adam Apollo, who is a galactic brother of mine, as well as Elijah Ray doing live performances and workshops. Stephen Greer, many of you may know Dr. Stephen Greer. He's doing a meditation and a movie. We have Dea Dova, who's from Australia and is a beautiful grid worker and singer, and she'll be on April 22nd. That's a Wednesday. Neil Gar is doing Portal to Ascension Day on the 28th, which is Tuesday, April 28th, with a whole host of the Portal to Ascension presenters. We have Porange with Ashley Klein coming on and doing a musical offering, and Liquid Bloom. So many heart-centered, beautiful souls joining together during this time on Earth. And we appreciate that any of you who are seeing this live stream or seeing the video afterwards, if you feel it in your heart to donate to Disclosure Fest so that we can continue with our initiatives, the Feed Our Souls initiative, the Clean Air initiative, where we're partnered with the Tree People, the Starseed initiative, the Every Elder initiative. All of these initiatives are funded through your donations, and we appreciate you wherever you feel guided. Join Unify, join Grandma Live. There's lots of meditations going on for the rest of the day. We invite you to go into 4 minutes of silence at 4:44 today, Pacific time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being live with us today and sharing in ceremony with our star ancestors. And we hope to see you at Disclosure Fest Live on June 20th this year at Los Angeles State Historic Park. Just go to the disclosurefest.org website and you'll find more details and information there. Hope to see you back on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Thank you again. I'm Michelle Anderson from Awakening Code Radio. You can find our radio program on iTunes, and I look forward to joining back with you on Tuesday. Again, Thank you so much for your service to all life.